So we have a question here. We have signups table, confirmations table, where we have a user ID, which is a primary key, which is a foreign key to this user ID here as set here. We have a timestamp, which shows the time that a sign up or a sign in happened. We have confirmations where there's no primary key, where this shows a timestamp where actions happen, which is an enum, which can be one of two keys, confirmed or timeout. It's enum. So the confirmation rate of a user is the number of confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested confirmation messages. So the total number of requested messages would be the total amount of times user ID showed up. So we'll just knock this out of the way. We have count c.user ID. Now we'll do from the first table signups, which is S, and then we're going to join left join, which we will explain confirmations from the confirmations table, which we'll name C. The things next to it just represent the name of it. The S represents signup, C represents C. We'll explain what left join is, but first we'll link what's being joined. So on is used for left join, where we connect the related columns. So s.user ID, so the user IDs from the signup table are equal to the user IDs from the confirmations table, c.user ID. Now we will talk about left join first. So we have two example tables here where we have, change colors, we have user ID, timestamp, user ID, timestamp, action. So we have left join. So the left would be this here, and the right would be here. The way left join and left and right of this equal sign when on is used. So left join starts with all rows from the left table and adds matching rows from the right table. If the row in the left table doesn't have a match in the right table, it becomes null. So to exemplify here, let's say we have user ID here, which is 1, and timestamp is 10. I'm just saying 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 1 here at 10, and then there's two values from the right table, or two columns from the right table, this one and this one. So even though these two are duplicated from the left table, it's duplicated because it's matching these matching columns over here, or rows over here, from that also have 1. Same for this 2 here at 11. So 11, 11. Now on this bottom table we have 2, 2 at 11, 10, 11, 15, confirm, confirm. So we match those rows here. Now notice there's 3 and 4 user ID here, but there's none here. So notice how we just have 12, 13, 12, 13 from 3 and 4 user ID, and then these are all null. So that's how a left join works. I hope that explains it a little bit easier. I'm going to delete these circles here. So we know that, we'll go back to the question here. The confirmation rate of a user is the number of confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested messages, confirmation messages. So again, the count is c.user ID because it's the amount of times those user IDs show up in the confirmation messages, which represent the amount of requests. Sorry, this is select, where this is coming from the select row. So that would be dividing something else. So the something else would be the number, it's the number of confirmed messages divided by the total. So how do we get the number of confirmed messages, which would be these? So notice how we can't just count the individual rows. We have to group all the ones so that these get listed, and then we can count the list. So when we do that, we'll do group by s.user ID. Now notice we're doing the signups table because we're getting values for all the users. If we did by the c.user_id from confirmations, we wouldn't get data on all the users because this is only showing the amount of requests. So now we're going to take the sum of, what are we going to take the sum of? Let's go ahead and think about it. We're going to take the sum of the amount of c.actions from here. It's actually c.action from here. And then we're going to have it equal to confirm, because we only want the ones that are confirmed. So it's counting the amount of things that come confirmed. Now, this is when we come down here. So c.action equals confirm. It's a Boolean expression which results in true or false. And in SQL, true or false can be 1 or 2. So that's why we can do sum, because it's summing it up, the amount of times it says confirmed in that list. Now that would give us the confirmation rate actually. We're going to name it confirmation rate, because that's what the Leetcode solution asked for. Confirmation rate. And then we're also going to round it, because in the question it's saying here that they want to round it to 2 decimal places. So we take round, which accepts 1 input, which would be a number, and then this is how many decimal places you'd want it to be as a second input, so 2. And lastly, it says the confirmation rate of a user that did not request any confirmation messages is 0. So the way we do this is we use COALESCE, where we accept that, and then it also accepts another input, 0. So what COALESCE does here, it ensures that if a calculated confirmation rate is null, then it returns 0. So I don't know what that just did. I don't know, it's fine, we already explained it. So notice that it's coming from here. If this is 0, if the amount of times this user ID shows up as 0, then it will return null. And then all these other things will return null. So COALESCE takes that null value and makes it a 0. And then also, it wants that too, the solution. It wants the user IDs and then how many times confirmed comes up. Or it wants the confirmation rate, sorry. So we will go here, we will do this, and then run it. And it's accepted. And we'll submit it as well. And it shall pass test cases.